What's going on, world? This is the KayFabeyBaby NRW Ring Generals Podcast. I'm your boy Kuya P, and I'm joined by the NRW House of Black, Sean Mongold, Webster Style. How are y'all, fellas?
Good, man. Can't complain.
Y'all sound like it's been a week already. We ain't even done with the week yet. But I think we all feel it though right now.
It's been a week. Yeah, it's been a week.
It's already been a week, y'all. But since our last podcast, y'all, we talked about SummerSlam that occurred between then and now. And we'll do a little bit of recapping of that, some other goings on in the wrestling world. Let's get into it, fellas. Let's catch up. Well, let's start off with the Big Daddy, the big, event over the weekend, SummerSlam. I know when we did our predictions last week, y'all weren't too enthused. I thought it was okay. It was decent. I caught it. I didn't see it the night of because I had some family stuff going on, but I caught it the following day. That was like basically my morning was catching up to, the events of the night before. And some okay matches, some I don't know, but some definite story development, if you will, with some storylines.
Yes.
So
definitely story development.
Let's where do y'all want to start? What do you want? I don't have the card up at the moment, but what were some of the highlights that y'all got? Webster Style
highlights. I guess I'll go to the Ricochet Logan Paul match. We talked about that, and we all thought in many respects that it'd be better for Ricochet to go over, but I think it was I don't remember if it was Sean. I think it might have been Sean talked about if he loses, that could be a feud going forward. Yeah. So I don't think we discounted that idea, but I do like the fact that hopefully it seems like that's what's going to happen now. Because doesn't he have a fight coming up or something, Logan Paul?
He does.
Yeah, they just announced something. I forgot what it was. It's a boxing match with Dylan Dennis, I think, or something like that.
I don't know who's fighting, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if they are doing a long-term feud, how is that going to impact that? Because if this does happen, this will be the first long-term feud they've done with Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Because all those other matches have been one and done.
The match was a decent match. It was. Yeah. We knock him because he's fucking Logan Paul and, he's kind of a shit human, but
right.
The brother can perform, man.
Oh, nobody takes that away from him. He sucks just as a human being. Yeah.
Yeah. I was entertained. Even play to Samantha Irvin, Ricochet's fiance in the corner.
I like that part of it.
And she didn't really want to say his name.
Her face was priceless.
It was a decent match, and he got a little shiner too. I don't know if you caught a little bit after the match, and because there's moments like, okay, yeah, that's gonna, something's gonna happen there later on, and that was kind of like a precursor because I don't know. Well, we can go ahead and let's go over that match now real quick. So to another person we don't like too much, Logan
Shiners.
Paul to Ronda Rousey. Let's go. I'm gonna switch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Talking about Shiners. Yeah, Ronda Rousey.
Ronda Rousey and Shayna. The shiner that Shayna got. I knew as soon as I was watching that match, I was like, when the moment happened, she just hurt Shayna. I saw that happening. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad Ronda's gone. Again, I'm hoping, and I think we all feel this way, that as a return to the Shayna Baszler we all love down at NXT, and even when she first came, because that Elimination Chamber where she just went through everybody, that's the Shayna Baszler. That's the Shayna Baszler that the women's division needs.
Yeah, and if you saw Raw, post Raw, so this past week, past SummerSlam, they had her go against Zoe Stark, man.
Right.
And Shayna got the W over Zoe. Rightfully so. Shayna's been around longer, but the way they've been building up Zoe, which I think it doesn't hurt Zoe to lose because they're still building her up. But Shayna got the dub. Go ahead, Sean.
I'm going to go against that statement. I hated that Shayna.
Really?
Because we had Brock Lesnar destroying people, and then you had Shayna Baszler destroying people in squash matches. I mean, that Elimination Chamber match was so dumb, in my opinion. Like, you didn't get all the women in there. Like, you didn't highlight anyone except for Shayna, and then you did nothing with her.
Right.
They was just wasted. You ruined those people. I don't even know how Liv got to come up after that, because I think she was one of the people who just got fucking choked out in fucking a minute. and she just went one through one. I was just like, this is boring. I mean, granted, this match was also boring because I didn't, I don't care about Ronda. And I think that negatively affected Shayna. I think some of that, unfortunately, some of that ire for Ronda kind of is now seeping on to Shayna. And now that they have, before Ronda was here, Shayna was like the MMA person, the badass, and she was this badass heel. But now, since everyone just hated Ronda so much, and they made that like best friend connection, and Shayna's the one that brought Ronda over and everything. I have a feeling, and a bad feeling, that a lot of that ire for Ronda is now unfortunately going to fall on Shayna. I hope I'm wrong. Because I think Shayna is an amazing athlete, still rough on the mic. But I mean, she's a great person. So I want her to do better. But yeah, that's Shiner, man. I saw her on Raw this past week, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Woo! She only had like one profile. They only like shot the one side of her face so you could see the Shiner. You couldn't see like her full face. So I have no idea what her full face looks like right now. But she had like no makeup on. She didn't have the eye shit going on. You just saw this giant fucking Shiner right here, dog. I was like,
that Shiner was prominent.
Yeah, that was like that Joanna. What was it? I forget that Russian chick's name from UFC, where she had like the Megamind head, dog. That's her match with I forgot who it was, but man, she got messed up. I was like, bro.
So y'all, do you think this is the last we've seen of Ronda?
Yes.
I hope.
Farewell. I know we hope that, but I think they're probably going to bring her back one.
They're definitely going to bring her back.
Yeah,
like that's the thing. Like, as long as Vince McMahon is alive, he will find a way. He will find a way to bring her back. If it was Triple H. And like I said, like this past Raw, which I know we're going to talk about later, it was quite entirely like you could feel the difference of like when Vince doesn't have his hands on something.
Right.
Because this past Raw was fucking amazing. And that was also when I think Vince has been going in and out of surgery, and he just got hit with another lawsuit. So I do not think he was involved with this Monday. And it definitely felt like he was not. So, it depends. If Vince still is around, Ronda's coming back for WrestleMania or some shit like that, obviously, or she's going to go down as a legend, or they're going to put her in the Hall of Fame, or fucking something just to fucking go and gargle, because that's what they love. They love like that cross promotion. And of course, she's going back to fight with UFC. It's still Endeavor. She's still in the realm.
Yeah.
Because now Endeavor owns UFC and WWE, so she's still technically working for the company.
Yep.
All right. We shall see. Let me throw it back to you, Webster Style. What were some of your other highlights, man?
What else happened? The Brock Cody match wasn't horrible.
Yeah, I was surprised.
I like the gentlemanly thing of Cody.
I was shocked
to do that at the end, and that wasn't even planned. That they said.
No, it wasn't. Triple H was like stunned, apparently, back in Gorilla.
That was
just
pretty
like,
cool.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. He went out and fucking took someone's hat, wore a fan's hat or something like that. Like, there's certain points that Brock gets to where it's just like he's just having fun.
Yeah.
And that's the Brock I like. You know what I mean? Like, not when he's taking himself too seriously or he's taking his like character too seriously. It's like when he's just like enjoying himself and having a good time. Like when he first did the cowboy shit, I was like, okay, he's having a good time.
You can tell he's smiling the whole time coming out to the ring. Brock is just having a ball.
Yes, exactly that. He is having the ball. He's playing with the ball. But like right when they turned him heel against Cody was when I was just like, okay, it doesn't feel like him. This is getting stale. This is going on for so long. It's getting boring. But like,
hopefully this was the farewell to that shit. Now
I think it was.
Yeah,
I think it was. Like they didn't. There was
to do that makes it seem like goodbye.
Obviously, if Brock would have like fucking suplexed him at the end, then they would have left it open. But I think that like raise of the hand and the handshake and everything, I think that was an ode to hey, this feud's done.
Yeah,
right.
What else, Webster Style?
Let me talk to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We called it. We knew it was going to happen, and especially considering what happened on Raw. Yo, I'm so happy he's finally getting pushed. LA Knight needs to be pushed to the moon.
him versus Miz. You know, when we talked last week, we didn't talk about Miz. Like, I think I said this a while ago about him and Miz, but last week we talked about him possibly going against Austin Theory in those promo battles.
Right.
But him and fucking Miz,
man, that's gold,
bro.
That's straight gold.
That is, this is something I've been waiting for, man. Like, I mean, the Battle Royal aside, like, that was a great match, but just like what came in the aftermath on Raw, man, like that just got me so fucking hyped.
That was so personal, and I so loved it.
And like, I don't know if you caught Raw, Pat.
I did.
But there was a point where Miz came out. Okay, so you did. So dude, when they
stumbled a little bit though in the delivery. You could tell like they're like, damn, but they caught it. They caught it.
They did. But like when Miz did and I'm talking about LA Knight, the whole crowd just went, yeah, before it was even out. And I was like, oh my God, like he's just so over. And I like, and that's the thing, is just like, I know we've talked about it and we've been high up on him, but I don't know when that toggle hit. You know what I mean? Like someone did a comparison on Twitter, and it was two videos matched together, and it was like when he debuted against I think he came out to fight AJ Styles. And it hit his music, and it like the crowd was just like, man, like you could perfectly hear his music, and then it played to like SummerSlam when he came out, and like the deafening noise you heard, and it's like, bro, like, and it wasn't even a year, you know. I think it's just been a year, if that, not even.
Yeah, because
I think it was like fall of last year that he debuted.
When was the wait a minute? When was the match with God, was the Fiend, or when was that? Was that Survivor Series?
Yeah, that was last year at Survivor Series.
Because I don't know why I'm thinking of SummerSlam last year, but yeah, the Mountain Dew thing with Bray Wyatt.
That was Survivor Series last year.
Okay, so yeah, actually, wait a minute, debuted as LA Knight. I'm still thinking, he was there before as Max Dupree. Look, can we talk about the fact that he will? I appreciate he would make anything work. He made that shit work.
Which one, Max Dupree?
Yeah. He made that shit work. He straight up made that shit work.
Yeah, like right when it went to Maxine is when it kind of. But she's over now with fucking Alpha Academy with Chad Gable, which fucking Gable's getting his own chance. I'm sorry, we're getting forward to Raw.
We're getting to Raw, yeah.
But man, like it was such a good Raw. Like it almost eclipsed SummerSlam for me, and that's what's so weird. You know, like you never talk about things like that, but like it was just such a good card. But anyway, let's get back to SummerSlam.
We got to cash in.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Eldon.
We had a cash in. Io Sky.
Yo.
Bro.
Probably the highlight of the night for me.
Yeah.
To be honest. Man. And actually, even before that, though, I like how that Bianca Charlotte Asuka match.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. We were all curious, you know, they're going to do Charlotte. It's going to be Charlotte, you know, y'all are saying it. And I was like, nah, come on, man. But it was Bianca, but the way they played that to the final win with like the injury to her leg, and then she did both of them in her move. It was amazing.
Great finish, great cash,
and a great pickup with Io.
Yeah.
It made sense. It all made sense.
And that Bianca fit, bro.
Yeah.
That fit, man. Like, and she makes all of her shit too, which is even crazier. You know, wow. So I'm just like, that is amazing. But yeah, no, it was. I was thoroughly surprised. I love that Bianca won, and I love that Io Sky obviously came in and cashed in successfully. Because I hate when a fucking cash in goes wrong.
Yeah. Oh, I hate it.
That's so bad. Like it's so like it just defeats the purpose of it.
And I got a feeling that's what they're gonna do to Damian Priest, man. To be honest.
Botch cash in.
Yep. But so hold up. So let's get to the Seth. Or did we want to do any more on Bianca in there? Do we want to get to?
I was a little mad that they yet again, because they can't make Charlotte look bad. They had Bianca pin Asuka for the win. And I'm like, so this leaves it open for Bianca to go against Charlotte again. And I'm over it, man.
Yeah,
like, let Charlotte do a storyline that doesn't involve the belt.
Right.
Like, she has that power. Like, you have these figures that have the name and like the power, like before the heavyweight belt, Seth was that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, Seth had the weight and the charisma and like the character to have these amazing feuds that seemed main event level. Like, you can do that with women.
Yes.
And that is what's bugging me on like all around the industry, really. It's just like you have this name, but you constantly thrust them. Like, they take a break, they come back, they're already in the fucking belt picture because you wanna highlight the belt, but you don't want to highlight the women.
Right.
And that's the issue for me.
I agree. That's my issue too. I don't understand why it's so hard to do that. I mean, the business unto itself is all about creating characters. Yeah. Create the characters and let the characters run wild. I'm thinking back in the day, rock and wrestling era, I could have cared less who had the title. Well, Hogan had it forever. But after that, you didn't care who had the title.
Yeah.
Or a title. It was about the characters, it was about the storyline, even the few women that were there. Like, it was, really it was only Wendy Richter, but still. At that point in time, but you didn't care about who had a title. It was about the characters. You were invested in their characters. And I think especially, and this is especially top two companies, they have not found a way to invest in female characters and to have them draw without having a title involved.
Right.
Consistently. Like, you get flashes of brilliance here or there, but consistently they just dropped the ball.
And I think that's what they wanted the Becky shit to be. And Becky definitely has the power for it, but like, I'm sorry, like, and I obviously I'm all over Twitter, and like, there's some people obsessed with Trish and think Trish is like the greatest fucking thing on this fucking goddamn earth. But I just don't see it, man.
Me either.
And maybe it's like an ode to like a before time and the Divas champs, and Trish Stratus, like Brawl and Painted Puppies, but I don't like, I'm looking at the now time, like, I just don't see it. I don't see it in the ring. I don't see it in promos.
No.
I just don't see it. I feel like Zoe could have literally done this on her own. And you would have given her the chance to fuck up, the chance to get out there in front of all these people and get the experience to do the promos instead of being so afraid. Like you, what's the difference? Like, you have a legend go up there and botch a promo, like, because she botched a bunch. Like, every single time she gets on the mic, she's botching something. It's like, okay, so what's the difference? If Zoe gets on there, you're afraid of her botching, but here's your legend who has all the experience and still botching. Might as well just put fucking Zoe and give her the shine.
Exactly.
Like, it makes zero sense. And then same thing, Charlotte could be involved in something like that.
Look,
you have so many women on that roster, and that's what's crazy.
We all know why Trish gets the rub from the fan base.
Oh, I know.
Long hair, big boobs. That's it.
Yep. And it's also Vince's call.
Yep.
But now, since hopefully Vince is tied up in another fucking lawsuit, maybe she goes the fuck away after whenever they fight in Canada for the last time.
I hope so, because I never look. Trish was a product of their era, but I never was a fan of Trish. And I was like, oh, Trish is on the screen. Like, I think I told you before, this is why I got into Impact or TNA back in the day because of an Amazing Red low-key match I saw online. But what got me really, when they pivoted, was the Knockouts division. That was some women's wrestling that nobody was doing. Well, RH wasn't really up and running like that. But nobody else was doing it. It was like real women's wrestling. When the WWE was still doing bra and panties and the divas crap, and it was, so I yearn for that. And we talk about NXT. I see that at NXT main roster. What are you doing? And Trish is just a representative of a bygone era, and her ring skills and her mic skills demonstrated every single time she's on TV. Period.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure I'm not crazy because I look at all these Twitter things. I'm just like, am I missing something? Thank you for just
you're not
being on the same wavelength.
Anything.
Okay. I'm just like, bro, like, am I wrong for this? Like, it's like you always second guess yourself when you see shit like that. Like, am I missing something? Is there like a special ingredient, a special herbs and spices to Trish Stratus I'm just not picking up on?
Right. No.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, no, the one that match, I love it for EO. I'm ready to see EO shine. I'm ready to see what it does to Damage Control.
Yeah.
And see if there's like a breakup obviously happening with Dakota being back. And then obviously Bayley. Like I think Bayley's off injury now.
I know she was there. I don't know if she's off injury though.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see how long it's going to take for them to break up. Because yet again, we're getting the same kind of situation. Like this also, let's pivot this to the Finn Seth situation of Bayley effectively was the leader of Damage Control. Now she is not the champion. So what's that power dynamic look like? That's like, that's the easy thing to go for, right? And same thing with what they're doing with Judgment Day is, everyone's getting back. Everyone has something. Damon's got the Money in the Bank, fucking Dirty Dom, got the fucking North American Championship, and fucking Rhea has the women's title. So it's just like, and by the way, that match was amazing. It was a great match.
Yeah.
But like, I felt like they did the same thing with the cash in with Damian Priest.
Yes.
And they're doing the thing where they're dragging it out way too far to where I'm starting not to care.
Exactly. I don't care already. Realistically, this whole thing that they're doing, just is this the third time they run this match back?
It's like third or fourth, man. It's been a couple.
It's the second one since Damian won Money in the Bank, and you still have those sort of shenanigans that are impacting the psychology as well as the actual physical activity in the ring of the match. I'm over it. Yeah. I'm over it.
I need some progression.
Yeah.
Like I need something, you know what I mean? And like we've talked about this before, like WWE plays the long game. That's exactly why Cody, lost to Roman, didn't get a rematch, and then all of a sudden got with Brock and had 1,000 feuds with Brock, and it's lasted since fucking WrestleMania, and like if you think about it, WrestleMania was a fucking was ages ago.
It was April.
Yeah. Like beginning of the year. And now we're damn near, that was what, 5 months ago?
Yep.
So he's been feuding with Brock for 5 whole months.
Yep.
That's
5 whole months.
Insane. Only to have 3 matches. And they essentially went the same way, except for Cody won this last one. And I guess he won the first one too, I think.
Yeah, he did win the first one.
But yeah, I just like, I want them to get over, like, I care about it, so I'm not going to say I don't care about it. I do care about it because, like, I see what they're doing. They're still doing, like, the little nodes, like Damian Priest, when they walk out, is walking just a step ahead of Finn Balor, and Finn Balor's like staring at him, as they walk down and things like that. So they stow these seeds, and they're great at performing it. But like, I don't know, it's like they set up these matches, like an amazing match, and then it's just like, oh, they did this. They did the same thing they did last time.
Exactly.
And Finn got caught up because Damon came out with the Money in the Bank, and then he got caught up. And I'm just like, all right, bro, like, it's getting a little fucking annoying here.
Yeah.
Just do something. Do it already. Like, I'm assuming they're waiting for like another big pay-per-view to like finally do the backstab or the turn of one or the other. Or maybe they're waiting for Edge to return to break it up. Like we talked about that before, so maybe they're just waiting. When's their Canada show? The one that Trish is on? Is that next week?
Next week? Yeah, I believe next week.
Maybe Edge comes back during that one because they're in Canada, and then he like stirs more flames into. I just want something else. I need something. If Edge comes back and stirs even more shit within Judgment Day, but not even break it up, at least it's something. Like I feel like there's nothing. There's nothing. It's like all the same. And it's driving me crazy. I'm just like, bro, I'm like, this is like literally like you're waiting for the next episode of Dragon Ball and you have no idea what the fuck is happening.
Exactly.
You're just like going fucking crazy. It's like, why did I start this anime? It's not finished. The season's not done. Why am I torturing myself? Right. This is how I feel every single time this happens. I'm sorry. But Seth, amazing. Like I fucking dude, Seth can do no wrong. You know, so I'm curious to see what happens to Seth or where Seth goes.
Oh, we got that Monday.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. The backstab. I forgot all about that. You know, and I saw that shit because I forgot what happened. He kind of had like a slight heel turn like a couple weeks ago where he kind of fucking walked out on some people. Forgot who it was. I think it might have been Kevin and Sammy. Where they had like a 3-way tag. And he like walked out of the ring. So I already kind of peeped that when he came in. I was just like, isn't he a heel?
I got that when he agreed to it, that look on his face, that smirk. I'm like, this ain't gonna be good. This ain't gonna be good.
Like his little conniving son of a bitch, just this half smirk face. Right. I love it. So yeah, okay, I am excited for that. That's gonna be fun.
That's gonna be awesome.
And to get Shinsuke back in the title picture is very, very nice. I mean, my man's getting up there too.
He is.
You know, so it's definitely time to give him a shot. Do I think they give it to him?
No.
Now. I think Shinsuke's kind of done on the titles, unfortunately. I don't think WWE doesn't put a lot of stock in him, in my opinion. No. And I mean, they should. He's energetic, like he's charismatic. Like I think he could, but like they, you know how they treat, you know.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah,
I understand totally.
But yeah, that was great. What else are we missing? Obviously, we're missing the main event, but I don't want to talk about that yet. Was there something else that we're missing? Oh, the Gunther Drew McIntyre match.
Yeah. I think you called it that Gunther will win.
Of course. Yeah, it's. I mean, it was a match.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? It's nothing too crazy, you know. Wasn't like super hyped up or anything like that. It was, you know, I mean, it was a B match in my opinion. You know, it was a B minus. Yeah, it's just I don't know what they're doing with Drew, and that's what's confusing me. Like I always feel like they're hyping Drew up to be like this big champion again, and I don't know what they're waiting for. You know what I mean? Like
there's too many other built stars up right now. There's too many other stars right now. There's too many other.
Well, and the way
time is fast, man.
And I don't think it's past.
There's no room for him right now.
Yeah, and honestly, like I believe I talked about it last week. Drew needs a shift in his gimmick.
Yeah.
Completely. He needs something else.
Yes,
you know what I mean. Like this was very COVID era. Drew McIntyre come out with, you know, fucking Abigail or whatever the fuck his sword's name was. Jessica, I don't fucking know.
Delilah, I don't know.
Delilah, I can't remember. Abigail, I don't know. But like that was that Drew McIntyre, and like if you think about it, like COVID, that was, you know, the beginning of it was 3 years ago,
right? You
know, and I'm sorry, like there's like he needs something. He needs some oomph because you know he's an okay promo. You know, he's not bad or anything, but there's nothing that sets him apart on his promo.
Yeah, he needs a change of character, straight up.
He really definitely does.
Character.
And like I said, he has the build, he has the, you know, he has the look for it, but also you've built up your champions in a way where it's just like you need this Cody-esque feud, this long-term booking in order for any of these champions to drop. You know, Gunther's had this fucking belt for, you know, it's been a record long time now. Same with Austin Theory. Austin Theory just broke records for the length that he's had it. Roman obviously is breaking records and having it. Seth is the first ever at this championship. So it's like you have all of these like monuments essentially. Right. And in order to break them down, like WWE wants that long-term booking. or like the crazy, return of someone. So like if Gunther wanted to fucking, take off, like the big return, obviously I'm looking at is Big E. Like when Big E comes back, like if Gunther wants time off, like in my opinion, that would be like a great return for Big E. It's just like the fucking smack Gunther around, fucking belly to belly, fucking suplex his ass and fucking cover his big meaty titties over top of fucking Gunther's titties, and 1, 2, 3, get the goddamn belt.
Woody man meat.
Meaty men slapping meat, meaty men slapping meat all day long. Like I'm in for it, and like the chop fest would be amazing. So I'm really looking forward. Or you know what? I'll retract that. Big E or Bray Wyatt, because we did just get some dirt sheets stuff today from Fightful saying that there is positive news in his return, and there has been some pitches for creative for him, and that apparently what he was out with was an illness that was both career and life threatening.
Oh man.
So I know they're being very secretive about it, but that is something they just dropped this afternoon. So that is, I don't know what the fuck it could have been. I mean, I'm glad they caught it.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm glad to hear that he's doing better. He's in front of it, and that things are looking better, and they're looking at creative again. So I'm excited for that return. I mean, I know a lot of people are kind of like because of what happened last time, but like they didn't get to tell the story. Like they didn't get to finish it because of this illness. So I'm curious to see like a full story come with Bray Wyatt.
No, I agree. I agree totally. This is one of the things I miss, and I wouldn't say is more or less a hot potato, but maybe I'm too. It's not even just the attitude era, even the superstars era, except for Hogan, obviously. Belts change frequently.
Yeah.
To where you had feuds with the belt and people were going back and forth with the belt, not like every other week, but you had periods of time where people literally swap belts going back and forth in a feud. And that is something, especially with this long-term booking they're doing now, that's something they're missing. Like even say go over to Impact and what they've done with the women's championship, how Trinity won it from Deonna Purrazzo, and then they're going up again. I honestly think, not to swerve, I think Trinity could lose it and setting up a best out of 3 match for the title again. But that would make sense storyline wise. I don't want her to lose it, but they've done a good job, especially with the Knockouts title, I think, for giving it some prestige, but also outside of when Mickey had it. And even then, it wasn't like 2-3 years with the belt. They've done a good job of effectively swapping belt off, propping people up, taking it off of them. And also, again, I hate going back to them, but I'm always impressed with the booking for the women's division specifically, and what they do and how even when Jordynne Grace didn't have the belt, she was still a threat and still credible. That is something that I miss when it comes to title pictures instead of one person having a title, like with the World Championship. I would love for that to be a title that somebody new wins every 3-4 months. Just because it would give other people a chance to shine, especially keep doing this shit with Roman. We'll get to that. But it's a way of really making new stars and propping people up.
Yeah.
And I missed that part of the olden days of wrestling, at least when it came to WWE, well, really WWF into WWE.
So here's my take on that. I think, this is like right, this is the era like just before Vince kind of left the company, before the Endeavor buyout and everything. Is I think the company really started focusing way too much on these records, these championship, holding records, because a lot of the records were held by people who the company does not fuck with anymore.
Like Demolition.
Demolition. Like you had the CM Punk record, that Roman had to beat. Austin Theory just beat Dean Ambrose's USA record. So, or the US title, not USA, US title record. So they got into this realm of wanting these accolades for these people. And that's, that's fine. Like we always knew, like we heard the inklings long ago about how Roman was going to be the top guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like no one saw it at the time, but they did it. They somehow fucking they fucking did it. But this doesn't build him up anymore, in my opinion, because like he's like I don't see him wrestling for much longer. I see him fucking closing the book on this chapter, like not ruining his body. Like I see him being smart, kind of like The Rock, and just closing the chapter after he drops his belt. Maybe come back, like John Cena every once in a while to put someone over, raise their hand, pass the torch or some shit like that. But yeah, I mean, this is not building up an up and coming star, except for the person who dethrones Roman.
Right. I agree with you. I think more so, I think Roman would be on a Brock Lesnar sort of schedule. I don't know if he'll be on a Rock.
He already is. What are you talking
about? That's true. He is. But let me see. A Brock Lesnar sort of schedule where every storyline, he ain't hugging up all the storylines. He come in, he do what he do, he's done, and he goes and comes back as a special. He becomes a special attraction.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, definitely. And there's a lot of young stars. I mean, they're doing it with Austin Theory.
Right.
But also I'm like, where the fuck is Austin Theory right now?
Exactly.
So it's like they forget about people sometimes, it seems.
When is the last time the US title has been on a pay-per-view?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know when the last time it was defended.
That too.
And before this Jey Uso tribal chief match, whatever, I don't know when the last time those belts were defended.
Well, yeah, because Kevin got injured, right? Yeah, they needed
all these because they did the tag team shit. They did him and Solo versus fucking the Usos, and they just like you said. I want the belts to switch hands. I want the belts defended on the weekly shows. I want to see other people go back and forth. I want to see. Like you said, I want to see the hot potato.
Right. Exactly.
I don't want to be able to predict the outcome.
Exactly.
I want to be like, oh man, I don't know. Like they're high up on both these guys and they've both been winning it back and forth. Like, I don't know who's going to win it this time. Like, I want to be on the edge. Like, I know that Roman's not going to drop it, and that's what sucks. Like when we did our fucking our predictions last week, we knew Roman wasn't going to lose it. We knew Gunther wasn't going to lose it. We knew Seth wasn't going to drop it. Like the only title that changed was the fucking woman's belt. And then the tag team's in limbo right now because KO is injured.
Yep.
So it's just like, bro, like, come on, man. Like, you're at a pay-per-view and only one title change happens, and that was when the Money in the Bank was cashed in. I mean, I guess Bianca won, so that was technically a change. So there's two changes because of the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, with the same title.
But it was the same title. So I don't know. It's getting there. But anyway, do we want to talk about this Jey Uso?
Let's go.
And fucking Roman Reigns, man. I'm going to say I'm upset.
Yeah.
Like we talked about this. We talked about this, right? And this is something that the Usos have wanted near the end of their career was for this turn to happen and for them to fight at WrestleMania, the main event, this, that, and the other. But also it was the tribal chief match where no one was supposed to interfere. And two people interfered. Like, you might as well just make it a no DQ match if you're just going to have people interfere.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, of course, they're going to spin it. Jay's going to come back and be like, oh, y'all don't have, respect. Y'all don't have, any integrity. You're not a chief at all. You're just a manipulator. So, like, I see the writing on the wall. I'm just mad that they did it that way. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, this gives Jay a little bit more oomph. But now this also, yet again, this puts Jay on this island-like face island.
It's not that Cody was relevancy anymore.
The island of independentness because he's going to be alone with a fucking volleyball named Wilson. And like we talked about Cody. Cody had no one. And it was this unbelievable underdog story of beating Brock, not really being able to trust anybody. Because even when he came out with Seth and did the promos with Seth, they were they were just, doing the whole thing, to keep like that spark of heat between them alive, even though they're both faces, and they should be teaming up together, So now Jey Uso's in that boat, on that island, not that boat. And you can't keep doing that to every single body. You know what I mean? You can't just have these unbelievable underdog stories all around.
Right.
It just gets like you're using the same motif. You're using the same plot device. And to have his brother turn on him, like I said, I wanted it to be like a chair shot to the back, Shield breakup turn, not this come out in a hooded figure, pull him off of Roman and then fucking super kick him when he's on his knees, as you do the reveal. Like, I wanted it to be them in the ring and then him like have the chair and fucking, or super kick him just like in the middle of the ring, just like fucking Jay did the Roman.
Exactly.
Like, that would have been poetic, but instead they did it this way. Yeah. And it was
drama. Right.
Where they were very strong with drama before. This was, it sucked. There was still a shock factor, but like I felt like it could have been better.
Yeah, definitely better. It fell flat with what they were trying to do. It really fell flat, and it was one of those things where that move made me feel like that they were grasping for straws and trying to continue to prolong this whole storyline by having that happen.
Yeah. Because we talked about like the possibility of other, Fatu members coming in,
right,
and dropping. And if they don't pull the plug on Rikishi now, since the brothers are fighting,
right,
I don't know when they're going to bring this motherfucker back.
Perfect time to bring Rikishi.
Like, I don't know when the fuck they're going to bring him back, or if they ever will, because this is the perfect fucking moment. Yeah, like SmackDown comes out, Rikishi comes out, and be like, "What the fuck, Jimmy? Like, why would you turn on your brother like that?" Like, that is a time. But like, yet again, Jay is by himself, unless they bring out someone else to help Jay. But now, fucking, it's the island of relevancy. You got fucking Roman, you got the Wise Man, you got fucking Jimmy, you got Solo. And then against Jay.
Who is there? Who can they bring in?
Sami Zayn. Maybe that's going to be the thing. Since Kevin, you know what? I didn't think about that. That's pretty cool. That would be a pretty cool thing. Have Sami reach out to Olive Branch since Kevin is hurt. And then be like, I told you all along.
That would be a way to do something with Sami and bring him back to the storyline. Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that happening. And then maybe a Survivor Series, there'd be a big clash and maybe some other debuts. But then, like, Roman's probably holding this fucking belt until goddamn, like, WrestleMania next year, dog. Or Royal Rumble.
That'd be crazy.
Like, it's insane. I'm over it.
Yeah.
With that. You know what I mean? Like, drop the fucking belt. Like, y'all could have done this whole entire storyline without the fucking belts.
Yes. This storyline did not need the belts at all. And I think we've been saying this all along, like, this did not need a belt because the belt is inconsequential. Like, it has nothing to do with him being a tribal chief, realistically.
Yeah. His
character, like, it's an accessory, is not the reason he is.
Right.
And the fact that, like, what was it? The tag team man said that wasn't even for the title. What was that? What pay-per-view was that?
No, that was the last pay-per-view. That was the Usos versus Solo and fucking Roman.
Like, there's so many pay-per-views I don't remember anymore, whatever the hell that was.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But yeah, it doesn't even need the belt. Put that on somebody else. Have another feud going with it. And let us watch the soap opera of the Samoan Dynasty family drama with our popcorn and call it a day.
Yep. Exactly that. All right. How'd you feel about it, Pat?
Yeah, we just eating up all the
y'all just been going. I'm like, I'm gonna just let y'all talk. I thought it was there was some boring elements. My favorite match of the night was Asuka, Bianca, Charlotte. I like how they played out, although there was some parts where you can tell that they missed the timing and different things that they're trying to set up. But I like how it finished up. I like the O came and cashed in. Gunther, Drew was forgettable. It was just kind of there. I like this, and we predicted everything else with the Seth and Damian, Seth and Finn, thing. I liked that we have a meme now from Damian looking at. I don't know if y'all caught that. There's a meme that they've done of Finn looking of Damian looking just upset with Finn after that whole kind of fallout at the end of it. I liked how he got curb stomped onto the Money in the Bank suitcase. It was all predictable though. I completely agree with y'all saying, but I liked how they kind of just did it onto the suitcase. Right. I think the fallout of that is going to happen, and some of the points you were talking about, and with maybe Christian coming back, not Christian, but Edge. Although that would be cool too. Now we don't know what's up with that. But the next pay-per-view is Payback. So you're talking about Payback. Bring Edge back there. There's the payback between all of that. What's going on? That's could go down there. You're talking about the next pay-per-view event that could happen. I think that would be good there.
Is Payback in Canada or is that Raw next
No,
week?
I think it's either SmackDown or Raw is the Canada thing. Payback is in the next couple of weeks, but it's not in Canada, I believe.
Yeah, it's at the PPG Paints Arena, Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh.
Okay. So the Jey Uso thing, man, it surprised me, but then at the same time I'm like, damn, I was like a little I can't lie. We all saw the podcast or heard that they want to do it, but not yet. Now's not the time. I felt they did push it too early. Mm-hmm. And I'd want to see it at a WrestleMania. I don't want them to do some bullshit and give it to us earlier. You're not doing them what they wanted for later on in their career. They wanted it at a WrestleMania, but I don't know. I'm curious to see what they're going to do because they haven't let us down though with the storyline. And they've been doing a successful thing with that. So I'm curious to see where it's going to go next. But it was kind of blah. Going back to Io Sky getting it. Also in the dirt sheets was Kairi Sane coming back.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Bro, I think there's some good shit going that could happen very soon. You know what I'm saying? We got Io with it. We got the stuff with Bailey and Dakota now there. Charlotte, Bianca. Kairi come back. If she teams up with Asuka, bring the Kabuki Warriors back.
I would love that. A real tag team.
Yeah. Like they've got
that's what I'm talking about.
Shit, man.
Who even has the women tag team titles right
Bailey
now?
With the haircut.
The complaint department, but Sonya's hurt.
Yeah.
That's right.
She's got a thing. So she's got it. They relinquish the belts or what? There could be some interesting developments going over there in women's wrestling, man. And with people coming back, if they get the writers, let them write and do what they can do. Mm-hmm. Who knows? But
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, no, I'm excited.
But we can go into like Raw, AEW. We didn't give no shot at AEW at all. But like good. Raw, NXT, man, I don't know if you've been. I know Eldon's tracking on NXT. They're doing some good things right now, man. There's
I'm seeing the clips with Trick Williams, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm excited for Trick.
Yeah. Carmelo, man. Just Wesley. They got some. I think we're seeing some bright new stars. NXT has always been bringing the next up and comers.
Right.
I think who they got right now. There's a lot of people I'm excited to see where they're going to go down the road later on.
Even Wesley, that Mustafa Ali and Axiom match was on point.
Oh man, there was some wild joints during that match.
Yeah. Oh, let's talk. We talk about NXT, right? I know.
Yeah.
Going back to the Judgment Day and going back to what Sean was saying, everybody got something. How is it that Dom is having a better storyline?
Dom is killing it, man. I love it, man. Dirty Dom all the way, bro.
And Finn, like seriously, I even the whole match with him and Dragon Lee and his dad, like they are doing the damn thing with him. I know we had some trepidation about that whole North American title on him and what they would do to everybody else, but I am impressed with what they've done with that story in every direction, whether it's Mustafa Ali, whether it's Wesley, whether it is Dominic. I am really impressed with what they're doing.
That's Shawn Michaels, baby.
Yeah.
When he's left his devices, man.
He's doing a damn good job, bro.
He's doing a damn good job.
He really is. I'm even halfway invested in Braun Breaker versus Von Wagner. Halfway.
Yeah, I was halfway.
I need to start getting more invested in it. It's just so much wrestling shit to watch, man. It's just so
check us back in with AEW, Sean. I know you're tuned in on AEW.
Oh man,
a little bit of Collision.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys saw, I think it was last week, episode 200 of Dynamite. Hikaru Shida is the new women's champion.
Yes, saw that.
So really, really excited about that. I can't wait. Like I fucking love me some Shida.
I love her too. I really like her.
They're setting up a 4-way match with some eliminators coming up. So it's going to be Hikaru Shida and Tony Storm for right now. And there's a couple of the match coming up, maybe like a Saraya versus Sky Blue, which Saraya is going to win. And then it's Britt Baker versus someone, which of course Britt is going to win. Right. So all in, you're going to have fucking Saraya. So I mean, they're in fucking England.
Yes.
They're going to have Britt. They're going to have Tony, and they're also going to have Hikaru. Unfortunately, they're in England. They might give it to Saraya.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like that would seem like the obvious.
If that happens,
it would be. It would be. I don't want it. I want Hikaru to have a good. I want Hikaru to have a good run. So that's been pretty good. They've still been lacking on the women. You know, it's still, you know, oh, here's 15 minutes of the show for just the women. That's it. So they still have ways to go with their women's wrestling. Mm-hmm. In my opinion. On all the shows, you know, on Rampage, on Collision, and it's always like one match. It's like a one match limit. Right. It's kind of weird. But you know, I digress. The shit with Adam Cole and MJF. My God.
The way that they just roasted Roddy. Look, Rod Strong. Oh,
bro, if you didn't catch that, Pat, bro, please just go and watch like all the recaps of the MJF and Adam Cole shit, man. You will die. They did a whole like video montage of them being like, yeah, I got a special thing. Like, this is what all guys like to do. And it's like a trampoline park. And MJF is like, what the fuck? And it's just like this broy thing. He's like, oh wait, there's dodgeball, and like MJF just goes to this dodgeball area and just starts chucking dodgeballs at like little kids, and was just like, I'm actually your daddy. Like, I fucked your mother. Like, you're like a bastard or some shit like that. Like, just like fucking with these kids, and then like Adam like stops him. It was just like, it's just so good. And when they actually come and do their in-ring thing, because I don't know if you've heard, but so MJF last week gave Adam Cole a rematch. It's going to be at All In. It's going to be the main event at All In. And they like broed it down, bro hug. Like, yeah, it's going to be a great match, bro. You're getting the match. And then this time around, like this week, they came out and they were hyping each other up. And they're like, you know what? We're like the greatest tag team. We're going to go after ROH. We're going to go after fucking Aussie Open. Like, so the beginning match of All In is going to be Aussie Open versus MJF and Adam Cole, and then they're going to fight at the main event. So it's going to be a crazy pay-per-view, and MJF is just like hamming it up. He was like, Daddy loves a cheap pop. Columbus, Ohio. Like, you know, like he's so good.
Rare form. Yeah, he's
in such a rare form, man. And then fucking when he said that shit, because, you know, he was like, oh, like some of the greatest people have had the ROH championship, and shouted out the Briscoes, you know, Roddy came out and was like this got Roddy playing like the simp of a character, dog. Like he's like, he has like this neck. What are you doing? Like he's just like crying essentially. And fucking MJF, like he was just like bad mouthing MJF, and MJF was like, all right, man, and just went in on him, man.
Roasted him alive.
Roasted the fuck out of him, man. I don't know how MJF does it, but he fucking just went off. And then he was just like, Adam, are you gonna let him talk to me like that? He's like, you know, the kingdom was right about you. You're only about yourself. And then the kingdom came out and they like embraced Roddy. Roddy did this full like soak into old boy's chest. And I was like, bro, like this is great. And then of course, Adam got pissed at MJF and like caused a little discourse, and they had like a bro down, hug it out, but there's still like that little twinge of like, oh, something's going on. But like both of them are afraid that each other's going to backstab each other. So it's been a really cool storyline. That's been like my top thing. I would don't know if y'all saw JAS broke up. So they've been doing this long thing with Jericho possibly going with Don Callis. They've been dragging it out way too fucking long.
Way too long.
But everyone from JAS came out at the beginning was just like, yo, I quit. You know, even Jake Hager was like, no, I did like that hat, but I don't like this. I'm out. And left. I was like, bro, fucking big ass motherfucker with that. He has such an enormous lisp too. That shit's wild. But I love him. He's great. So I'm curious to see what happens to everybody. You know, Anna Jay had a match against Hikaru Shida, which I forgot. Like, you know, I'm harping back to what Jack Perry said. I'm the hardest bitch in this place. I forgot she had an ass. So I looked at my wife. I was like, Anna Jay got an ass? I just haven't seen her in that while. My wife was like, yeah, she's always had an ass. I'm like,
Anna Jay has an ass.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. We had the Jack Perry match against RVD, which was,
yeah, that was good.
I don't know how this motherfucker's like 52 still doing that screwdriver fucking leg drop on the barricade.
I will tell you how. RVD CBD.
My man, stay high, dog. Like, you can't get high if you stay high, dog. Like, let me just tell you. Let me talk to you, because my man came out just like high as fuck. Even last week when he was doing a promo, his eyes were like,
yeah, bro.
Eldon
and I both interviewed him, you know, and he's cool cat. But yeah, he's always
he's what Matt Riddle wants to be.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like he's the true original bro, and I fucking love him. So I'm curious what they're going to do with this Jack Perry. My wife is very, very adamant about wanting them to give Jack Perry like this legend killer kind of esque vibe, almost like the Randy Orton, like, you know, legend killer kind of thing. Because I mean, you know, the Jerry Lynn, you know, fucking RVD, like he's taking out a lot of the ECW legends. So maybe he's just going to go through all the legends and not really like punt them or anything. Like, you know, like Randy did the punt, but like just like beat them, you know, as a heel and be like, you know, yeah, I'll hold a win over all these legends, blah, 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 blah. You know, like they're doing like really cool things with some of the pillars. Darby, I don't really know. Like they brought Sting back, and I'm just like,
and they're gonna get like, Swerve and the Mogul affiliates. Like,
yeah, I'm just like, well, and like I understand the storyline.
Yeah,
like Swerve's great. Like the video package, him getting AR Fox and him doing that package against Nick Wayne last week was wild.
That was great.
That was a wild package. And then, but like having like Darby being like Nick Wayne's mentor when Darby's like super young, I'm just like, this is a little weird.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like they get attacked and then the lights go out and they're like, oh, what's going on? I'm like, what the fuck do you think's going on? Sting's coming back.
No, right? Where have you been?
Like, it's not a surprise anymore.
Right.
Like, I'd been surprised if it wasn't Sting. Like that, you know what I mean? Like, I would have been surprised if it was anyone else, but it wasn't. We had fucking Young Bucks going against the Hardys, which was a decent match.
Right.
You know, as boring as I am, bored as I am of the Young Bucks, like they put on good matches and they can make people get over. Like they made them look good. Like it was a good back and forth. It was a good fucking match. Of course the fucking Young Bucks won. But yeah, it was, I'm trying to think of what else happened. Nothing too crazy, in my opinion, happened. I can't really remember. But yeah, I mean, that's what's going on. And then over in Collision, you still got the Ricky Starks and fucking CM Punk thing happening. Samoa Joe's still trying to call him out. So CM Punk has like the other AEW championship with the Giant X through it. I think he's defending that against Samoa Joe coming up. So it's going to be... It's going to be a pretty good match. Oh, no, it is CMFTR this week versus Samoa Joe and somebody. I can't remember who it is. It's going to be a great match. And then I'm trying to think. There's like so much going on in Rampage and fucking Collision. It's so hard to keep track of. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for All In. I'm ready for it. I think the Young Bucks are going against FTR again for another crazy whirlwind battle. So of course,
yeah, that's a good card. That's always going to be a good match.
Yeah, of course they got to put that on because it's a good match. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Am I bored of it? Because am I bored of the Young Bucks getting the title? Yes.
Yes,
I am.
But it's in London. It's London.
It is in London. It's the first time.
Right. So
and it's always a great match. So
your marquee matches. People paying that money. It's good business sense.
Yeah. And they're breaking records. So good on them. But yeah, I'm curious to see what they're going to do with CM Punk for that. But yeah, I mean, that's AEW. I mean, like I said, not a lot. Like Chris Statlander has a couple things going, but like still hasn't really clicked for me.
Right.
I don't know. I think they gave it to the wrong person.
Because that thing with her bench pressing or doing crunches with Renee or whatever they're called. That was pretty cool. Yeah, squats. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but that's like kind of like Jade's thing. That was kind of like James being the strong man. Same with Bianca. True. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, you know, I'm just like a little about it.
Understood.
Last week, the other really cool match, Best Friends versus Blackpool Combat Club.
Oh yeah.
And the parking lot match. That was entertaining as fuck.
Yeah.
And like this sets up, you know, because Orange Cassidy was around. So I really want to see Orange Cassidy and like Mox go at it for a couple of title defenses. And maybe, I mean, Orange has been on it and just so consistent. And I don't know if he's like actually injured or not, or if that's just like all like, you know, fucking selling in the ring and shit. But I mean, I think he needs a break. You know, like I think he wants a break. I think he needs a break. I think his body needs a break. And honestly, like I don't want to get bored of Orange.
Right.
You know, I think that title needs to go to someone else.
What's the name of that title again?
What the Intercontinental?
It's like All Atlantic or something like that.
No, they changed it to International. There it is. Not Intercontinental.
Okay.
International title.
Okay.
But yeah, I would love for it to go to fucking to Mox. And
I agree.
Let them do the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know. Oh, CMFTR is fighting fucking
House of Black.
House of Black, baby.
Yeah.
Forgot about that. So that's going to be a great match.
Yeah.
And House of Black is solely on Collision. So I'm curious to see, like, there's inklings in there. And then, you know, they're you know, the rumors of like WB buying them and like asking for more pay-per-views and things like that. So, you know, we'll see what happens.
This is another report that I heard that when I heard this, I thought directly about the conversations we have, that by the end of the year, they're supposed to have live sports on Max. So I thought, that would be a perfect way of getting AEW on Max as well. If they're on live sports, streaming the pay-per-views on that. Well, they do it on Bleacher Report, but finding some way to add.
Yeah. That was the whole thing.
Yeah.
Is like all their pay-per-views like on Peacock would be on Max for ROH and AEW.
Yeah, because
which make things 10 times easier.
Yeah, but I didn't realize that Warner owned the Bleacher Report either. I'm like, oh, they did?
Mm-hmm.
Had no idea.
Everything's owned by somebody.
Well, that's true. Just didn't know it was them.
Yeah. It's crazy. But yeah, I think that's about it. We got Rampage coming up. And Collision. So it's going to be interesting to see how things shake out as we get closer to All In. Because I think they only have there's only 3 matches announced so far.
Yeah,
3 or 4.
No women's matches have been announced. Yeah, just
they did. Yeah, the 4-way.
Oh, that's there?
Yeah, that's at All In. That's in England.
Oh, okay.
That's where we're like, Saraya might win.
Right. We ain't got no predictions yet. We'll save that for another week.
No, that's I don't know. That's a ways out, isn't it?
Okay.
Okay. Interesting.
All right. Any Impact Webster style you want to bring in real quick before we get up out of here?
I haven't kept up with anything as far as Impact in the last week or two. So
all I know is beyond SummerSlam, there is another matchup that was by a riverfront that involved chair shots that kind of took over.
Bro.
Can we talk on that real quick, man?
That shit wild,
they had to be influenced by some wrestling because that man pulled out that chair. Wow!
Yo, did you see that there was another video of another dude?
Oh, man, I watched all of that, man. I saw it when it happened. I saw it like 3 hours after the situation happened. I was what the fuck?
The rest
and then it like blew up.
No, there's one where there's a completely different story, a different area.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a dude at a restaurant with a yellow chair.
Yeah.
And some dude was going to happen. This dude started beating the fuck out of a dude with that yellow ass chair. Knocked him the fuck out. Like, bro, all the different angles and shit, all the different characters, all the memes that came out. Man, it was great. Yeah, I loved it.
Hilarious.
It was so.
It surpassed SummerSlam in regards to the fight over the weekend, bro.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Oh, yeah. No, it definitely did. That was a brawl out. That was a true brawl out right there. That shit is crazy.
Yeah,
but I loved it.
Good. Like, come on now. You can't just do some bullshit like that. It's racism at its finest. Racism at its finest. It was insane.
Fucking throwing the hat.
Yeah.
Calling the people.
The meme.
That shit was
signal. Throwing the hat.
The signal. Like all the videos of people like keeping the boys in training. It's just like kids like swinging chairs and shit. I'm like, bro, this is great.
All right, y'all. Let's get up out of here, man. But yeah, that was the fight not to have been missed over the weekend. If you can catch those videos, it's all
a true pay-per-view.
Yeah.
All right, Webster style. What you got coming up soon, man? What can people check out, bro?
What this week? It's been a light week, but I just dropped episode 157 of the Sartorial Geek podcast. So it's a lot of collections of cons I went to, all my interviews from Big Lit Comic Con Nova, as well as mini con I went to hosted by the Audacious Black Femme, and then my interview with Brandy Marriott Blunt, who is the organizer and founder of ChromaCon, which is happening in Baltimore next year. And then my fragrance of the week, which is also I dropped a video review on it, is Mandarina Duck Black. And then that's it for the week. It's been a light week.
That's a light week.
Lightweight, bro. Okay, whatever.
All this content, you ain't know this and that, and this.
No. Right? My man Webster style, man. Go show him love. And my man Sean Mongo, what do you got going on, bro?
Not as much of our man over here. This week it's kind of a break. We just got back from Gen Con, which was great. We did back-to-back conventions. So this week's kind of chill, but we do have our Nirvana experience, which is right here behind me, coming up. That's at the end of September. And then also after that, we're going to start back up in October with DC Brow. So we got a couple things that are getting started. I mean, we're going to be doing other things, but they aren't ours. We're going to like New York Fashion Week at the beginning of September. So that will be fun. But yeah, we're just gonna, be doing our thing.
Dope. All right, man. Show my man Sean some love. This is the face I'm giving now.
What is wrong with you?
This is the face I'm giving now when I feel just like, come on.
Come on, bro.
Yo, this was like the meme over the weekend, man, when these people started shit. Because, anyway.
I need this shape. I need this like the
shape up
decal. I need right there. Boom. I need those.
Oh, the beard. Yeah.
I need some decals in my beard.
That's some precision right there.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So,
don't know if I trust anybody for that.
I had this one chick who was local that was just my barber, and she was bomb with all of that. And but she's gone now. She left the area, so I got to find somebody new. Webster style, man. I know you know the people in style, so I might have to holler at you, man, if you know somebody that can do something like this again. But show love to my man Sean. Show love to my man Webster style, man. I got a bunch of shit up on the channel, man. I've been busy,
yes,
but I'm tired as fuck right now. I ain't gonna lie. That's why I've been toned down this whole week. So thank you both for carrying the conversation, man. Excited to see what's gonna happen next with wrestling, man. It's crazy. It's played again, but then they bring us back in, right? and
always.
Yeah.
We're like, we swear it off, and then we come right back to it.
Yeah. Hate the shit they're doing, but then they bring some good shit, and they're like, okay, I'll come back. But anyway, man, appreciate the conversation, y'all. For me, it's the NRW at New Release Wednesday and the Legend Creepy and all other things. I'm tired as fuck, y'all. Let's get up out of here. I'm pinned already to the mat. 1, 2, 3. Till next time.
You come in my face, I'm gonna fight you. Well, you're not gonna bust a nut anytime we're in the ring. I'm gonna get off by cranking your knob just a little beyond the breaking point.
When I get my hands on you, I'm gonna eat your ass like a pot of collard greens, baby.
I'm gonna stretch his ass like it's never been stretched before. You can hide behind that commissioner stuff just so long until I jerk a knot in your ass.
And if you don't think I'm big enough, then you grab a hold of me, and you'll know that I'm growing, my man. Within your hands, I will get as big as I need to be to do the job on you.
All right, just jerk Helmsley off.
There's one part of our bodies that's soft, and it ain't soft all the time, if you catch my meaning. I'm gonna come on you like nobody's ever come on you before. Just you and I getting it on like two men should do.
Oh, no, that's it, right.
Boy, and I'm coming hard.